And it talks about the times of restitution of all things. The restoration of the government, the kingdom of God on this earth. Let's continue on here. Which God has spoken by the mouth of all the holy prophets since the world began. Listen, the holy prophets were not ignorant of this soon coming kingdom of God, like so many people are today. You ask people today, what's the kingdom of God? They are totally ignorant of what it is. It's like, well, the kingdom is within you. You just enter. You just feel it. It's nonsense. People think it's the kingdom of heaven. Listen, a kingdom is this. A kingdom requires 4 things to have a kingdom. Number 1, it requires a king. Well, you know who that is, don't you? It's Jesus Christ, King of kings, Lord of lords. Okay, first thing you got to have a kingdom is a king. Second thing you got to have is territory. Territory. Third, where's the territory? It's planet Earth. That's where Christ is going to return to. Third thing you got to have is subjects, people. You got to have someone to rule over, right? Of course. The subjects are the people on this earth who are going to have to be ruled with a rod of iron. What am I talking about? Revelation 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keeps my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my Father. Now look at it. You're going to rule with a rod of iron when Christ returns. If you're one of the elect, if you're one that God has called to be a part of this kingdom. Now think about it. Think about the mafia. Think about organized crime. Think about the promoters of pornography. Think about all the rotten, evil filth that is in the world, the sex trafficking and all the nasty stuff that goes on. How are you going to deal with these people? Answer, rod of iron. If we could understand the corruption that goes on in any one given area, you would be amazed by the corruption that is going on. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, everywhere. Now, imagine if you had the power to stop it. Listen, this is what the kingdom of God is all about. Imagine if you had the power to stop it. We're talking about you having power to stop, to put an end to evil. You know, there are some people, the only thing they understand is a 2x4 across the head. You can't necessarily show them a better way. You have to first get their attention. Listen, what about this verse don't you understand? Revelation 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keeps my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. What don't you get about that statement? We're talking about the government, the soon coming kingdom of God, and your part in it. Now, I will say this, what qualifies you to do this is you have to first overcome the evil within, okay? Talking about you and your personal relationship with God. But make no mistake about it. It says, he that overcometh and keeps my works, to him will I give power over the nation, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Now, when I talk about prayer, there's a lot of irrelevant stuff you could talk about. But Jesus said, when you pray, say, thy kingdom come. A kingdom has 4 things. 1, a king. 2, territory. Planet Earth. Listen, heaven doesn't need fixing. The problems are right here. The problems are not up in heaven. This is where all the problems exist. Christ is returning. So the territory is planet Earth because it needs fixing. The subjects are people. And 4th thing you got to have a kingdom is laws. Yes, the law of God. That stuff, the law, the thing that a lot of religious people don't like. Oh, it's been nailed to the cross. It's been done away with. It's been fulfilled. We're not under the law. Oh, we keep it in our heart. But we don't really literally keep it. What kind of hogwash is that? What kind of double talk is that? You either keep it or you don't keep it. The law of God, the 10 Commandments, including the 4th.